Mr. Sanders said in the interview that he wanted an initial emergency stimulus package to be big. He thinks it must include an additional $1,400 in direct payments for adults and children on top of the $600 that Congress just passed, along with the money for states and cities to fund coronavirus vaccine distribution, testing, and contact tracing. He also wants to create an emergency universal healthcare program. What? He also wants to create an emergency universal healthcare program so that anyone can get medical treatment during the pandemic, whether they currently have insurance or not. Burn! Burn! Chairman Sanders! Chairman Sanders! This is so incredibly based! Bernie Sanders has been talking to Biden about the next stimulus package. Oh, no way. Bernie Sanders has been talking to Biden about the next stimulus package, including an emergency universal healthcare program so that anyone can get medical treatment during the pandemic, whether they currently have insurance or not. Wow. Atop the powerful budget committee, at last, Bernie Sanders wants to go big. Oh, this is good. This is bad. Sorry, I will revert to using brave. Brave and only brave. I'm once again asking you to use brave. Shortly before the 2016 election, Paul D. Ryan of Wisconsin, the Republican nominee for vice president and Speaker of the House, told a group of college Republicans why he thought Democrats winning control of the Senate would be a policy nightmare. Do you know who becomes chair of the Senate Budget Committee? Mr. Ryan asked. A guy named Bernard Sandier. Have you ever heard of him? Republicans have long feared the prospect of Mr. Sanders, a self-described Democratic socialist from Vermont, taking the helm of the powerful committee given the embrace of the bigger government and more federal spending with borrowed money. With Democrats reclaiming the Senate, the fear is about to become a reality. Mr. Sanders, the most progressive member of the I was about to say caucus chamber, will have a central role in shaping and steering the Democrats' tax and spending plans through a Congress that they control with the slimmest of margins. Mr. Sanders, an independent who caucuses, well, there we go, too late, all right, you had your chance. But the Democrats, and twice ran unsuccessfully for the party's presidential nomination, said he would move quickly in his role to push through a robust and deficit-financed economic stimulus package soon after the president-elect Joseph R. Biden takes office. I believe that this crisis is of enormous severity, and we've got to move as rapidly as we can. Underline the word aggressive, he said. Start out there. Despite Democrats' narrow control of the Senate, Mr. Sanders is expected to expertly exert heavy influence on taxes, healthcare, climate change, and several other domestic issues. Awesome. That is because his role as budget chairman will give him control over a little known but incredibly powerful congressional tool that allows certain types of legislation to win Senate approval with just a simple majority. That tool, a budget mechanism called reconciliation, allows Congress to move with some legislation without gaining 60 votes. It has become the vehicle for several major legislative efforts this century, including tax cuts under President Trump and President George W. Bush, and the final version of President Barack Obama's signature healthcare bill. The reconciliation process begins with lawmakers adopting a budget resolution originating in the House and Senate budget committees, which can then include directions to congressional committees on how much to increase the federal spending on taxes. Oh man, this is awesome. This is really awesome. This is amazing news. Yeah, I totally agree, Jeff. Hold up one sec. The reconciliation process begins with lawmakers adopting a budget resolution originating in the House and Senate budget committees, which can include directions to congressional committees about how much to increase federal spending or taxes. The nature of the process effectively gives Mr. Sanders a leading role in deciding how expansive and expensive Mr. Biden's ambitions for new taxes and spending will be. Mr. Sanders said in the interview that he wanted an initial emergency stimulus package to be big. He thinks it must include an additional $1,400 in direct payments for adults and children on top of the $600 that Congress just passed, along with the money for states and cities to fund coronavirus vaccine distribution, testing, and contact tracing. He also wants to create an emergency universal healthcare program. What? He also wants to create an emergency universal healthcare program so that anyone can get medical treatment during the pandemic, whether they currently have insurance or not. Burn! Burn! Chairman Sanders! Chairman Sanders! This is so incredibly based! What the fuck? Wow! This is incredibly poggers. This is huge. This is absolutely huge. You know what's funny? Sorry, I gotta pause this for 2 seconds. I'm getting too excited right now. What's outrageous about this is that, like, you know that old adage, the Lord never closes a window without opening a door. This is a great example of that. I mean, yes, obviously I would much prefer President Sanders, but Chairman Sanders right now is doing some pretty based moves. It's awesome. It's like as soon as he gained this power, he's like, all right, well, fuck it. You know, y'all aren't playing nice. None of y'all are playing nice. Not a single one of you are playing nice. So I'm going to go and fucking do this. That's right. Chairman Sanders. I'm sorry, I'll return. Mr. Sanders said he had been speaking with Mr. Biden about the scale and the timing of the stimulus legislation. He said that he did not intend to try and force his long-held priorities, such as Medicare for All, into the relief bill. However, he does intend to test the legal bounds of how reconciliation can be used so that Democrats can pass policies that go beyond traditional budget items and address structural problems in American society. Neither Mr. Sanders nor Mr. Biden has specified the exact size of the next stimulus bill, though the president-elect is expected to outline his economic plan on Thursday. Mr. Sanders said the legislation, which could not cost more than $1 trillion, should look to raise revenue in a progressive manner, suggesting that he would push to include tax increases on the wealthy and on corporations. What? What is happening right now, everybody? What is happening? Yes, I am feeling the burn once again. I am once again feeling the burn. It has been a while. It has been a while since I've needed the ointment, but here it is. This is how you leverage power. Absolutely. This is how you leverage power. This is fantastic. It took a long time too, but now we're here. You have to start with the proposition that everybody has to pay their fair share, Mr. Wyden said in an interview. Are you kidding me? It's happening. I feel like that meme. It's happening, everybody. Mr. Biden's aides say that we'll work closely with Mr. Sanders and the other committee leaders who will write the legislation to fit Mr. Biden's policy dreams into legislative text, but it will require some negotiation compromise. Mr. Sanders' presidential campaign proposals dwarfed Mr. Biden's in cost and in reach. And in fucking awesomeness, Mr. Biden pointedly does not support Medicare for All, and in laying out his priorities for the next stimulus bill, he has not emphasized the temporary health coverage expansion that Mr. Sanders favors. That's Chairman Sanders to you, New York Times. In signs of how far their alliance has come, however, Mr. Biden said last week that he nearly tapped Mr. Sanders to be his labor secretary. Nearly? Well, now he's the fucking chairman's son, though he decided against it because he would have risk losing Mr. Sanders' seat as Senate control in a special election. By the way, Nico House was like, Bernie Sanders betrayed us.
Can we make that song a Dono sound?
Thank you very much, Evil Myra. I don't know. This, if you don't know, by the way, this is Mao Zedong's Red Sun in the Sky. So it's going to be a little controversial. All right, it might be a little too tanky for Twitch. I'm pretty sure, by the way, I'm not going to be getting a Dimka on this. This will be fine. No Dimkas, I don't think, because there's no copyright on the song. We're totally fine. Oh, and by the way, to all the tankies, I guess your cups runneth over today. Enjoy the sweet flavors. I'm in too good a mood to complain. No, enjoy yourselves. This is a wonderful thing. We continue. More moderate Senate Democrats could also pose a challenge. Given the party's slim majority, some Democrats oppose several of the spending programs that Mr. Biden has proposed, along with many that Mr. Sanders supports. Even what appeared to be unifying policies could run into roadblocks. Last week, Senator Joe Manchin, fucking Joe, the most conservative Democrat in the chamber, signaled that an additional $1,400 per person in direct payments would not be a high priority for him in a stimulus bill, though he did not rule out voting for expanded payments. Mr. Sanders said he planned to work cooperatively with Mr. Biden and the Senate Democratic leaders, leaving his fight for Medicare for All and his work on health committees. He said he was confident that his reconciliation legislation will have strong support amongst Democrats. Harry Reid, a former Democratic Senator Majority Leader, said Mr. Sanders was not as ideological in his committee work as he might appear from his presidential campaigns. Mr. Reid picks Mr. Sanders to be the ranking member of the Budget Committee. Sucker. Oops. On the Budget Committee in 2014, and pushed back against some criticism from his Democratic colleagues who worried Mr. Sanders was a problematic choice because he was a Democratic socialist. Even though he is a person who is known for a real progressive socialist, he was never really a problem for my caucus, Mr. Reid said. He didn't try to be a rebel. Now he is. Mr. Sanders will have some delicate matters to handle, such as the confirmation of Near Tandon. Mr. Biden's pick to be director of the Office of Management and Budget. Yeah, can he revoke that too? Like, sorry, can Sanders go full chairman? Can he do the thing? Can he just be like, nah, I'm not going to confirm. I'm not going to confirm her because she's a war criminal. And then I'm also going to get back to my business. All right, I'm going to get back to doing what matters, getting Medicare for all to all Americans. Fuck, that would be awesome. Fuck, that would be awesome. Let me not worry about NERA right now, Mr. Sanders said, adding that a top priority would be the stimulus. To guard against the possibility of the Democratic defections, Mr. Sanders might also need to woo some Republicans. Oh, the woo. The woo. Oh, that's the wrong button. Hold on. Wait. Oh, there. No, this feels better. To guard against the possibility of Democratic defections, Mr. Sanders might also need to woo some Republicans, even after their party made his potential chairmanship a point of attack in recent elections. The top Republican on the committee will most likely be Senator Lindsey Graham of South Carolina, who promised on Twitter in October that if his party won the Senate that he, not socialist Bernie Sanders, not socialist Bernie Sanders, would lead the budget committee. Grover Norquist, a conservative activist and president of the American for Tax Reform, said that having Mr. Sanders lead the committee would only exacerbate the rapidly mounting federal deficit. That's happening regardless. If you have Trump in power, if you have Sanders, it doesn't matter. He doesn't have a sense of discipline in terms of his local total budget numbers, so sky's the limit as far as he's concerned. That's true. That's true, and it's amazing. The gravity will be towards more without a resting place. Oh, don't promise me a good time, son. I'm so close. Asked about conservative fears, Mr. Sanders was pointed. He said polls showed the tax and spending increases he planned to bring forward were popular amongst a swath of voters. It's true. It's true. The voters all want this. They've already been saying, yeah, we're for Medicare for all. All right. I mean, fuck, Chairman. Don't stop there. Keep going. Keep going. Add everything that you propose. Try to get your entire presidential propositions through the budget committee. This is amazing. Asked about conservatives' fears, Mr. Sanders was pointed. He said the polls showed the tax and spending increase he planned to pass were popular. They should be worried, he said, referring to his Republican. They should be worried. But his constituents said, should not be. Oh, their constituents should not be. Fuck, that's good. I fucked it up. They should be worried, but their constituents, he said, should not be. No shit. Because they're all for this. Everyone's for this. This is so based. So incredibly based. Oh, man. This was a great little piece of news. This put happiness in the pocket. All right. I'm ready to feel the burn all over again. I'm ready for these. Sorry. And we're back. Ooh-woo! Chairman Sanders, everybody! Ooh-woo! Oh, it was a simpler time. And then we went through the dark times. And now we have Chairman Sanders. Chairman Sanders fucking shit up. Oh, man. This is amazing.
I'm once again asking you to enjoy an anime opener.
By the way, sorry to interrupt. This is one hell of an anime arc. I hope everyone realizes that. This is an anime arc. Like, wow. And now we got Chairman Sanders. Chairman Sanders. Fucking shit up. Fuck yes.
It's over 9,000!
Fuck yes. Oh man. This is amazing. This put a lot of happiness into my heart.
If you want us to advertise your channel or work, please go to weareserfs.com and email us a 20 to 30 second ad, and we'll take it on to the end of one of our videos to help promote your leftist channel or progressive something. Whatever you do.
To our gods, I'm Raph, Xander Corvus, and Schlatsky. We shall build golden idols in your honor. To our monarch, Tom Spiker, you have our undying fealty. To our lords, Jeffrey Lamb, Trevor R., Hans Josephine, C. Bartlett, Jimothy K. Meeple Beeps Jr., Bisexual Black Gamer, and Trofox, we shall carry your banners onto the battlefield. To our Knights of the Round Table, Josh Mickelson, Dylan Byte, Zach Christensen, Todd Buckingham, Todd Lajeunesse, Political Puppy, Jimmy Bignuts, Andreas Chitoro, Good Poon Hates Cops, That's Solid Poon Then, Dr. Zayas, Yoppie, Violent Orchard, Sophie Baby, Thomas Barrington, J. Fraser Cartwright, Goofalankius, Melissa Murphy, Nicholas Marks, Alexander Thaler, Ali Rada Jafer, Alex Gauvin, Radical Maniac, The Great Houdini, and Callie Kotka. We salute you.